Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. How much do you know about Volodymyr Zelensky? He's the president of Ukraine. The West is drawing parallels between him and the Chinese student who stood in front of a tank in Tiananmen Square in 1989. They say, like him, Zelensky too is standing up to the Russian president, Vladimir Putin. Volodymyr Zelensky has become the most admired person of the free world. His Legos are being sold. There is Zelensky merchandise. So much is being written about him, but mostly by the West. So far, we've seen Zelensky through the Western lens, one that sees Putin as the villain and Zelensky as the hero. Putin, the man who tags polar bears, and Zelensky, the president who dances to cha-cha. Putin is cold, Zelensky is funny. Putin barely talks about his family, Zelensky shares photos of his wife and children. Ever since the war in Ukraine broke out, the West has presented Zelensky as the antithesis of Putin, basically the good guy in this story. But this is the West's story. Let's look at Zelensky independent of the story. Who is he? Some say, like Putin, Zelensky too has authoritarian traits. Volodymyr Zelensky is 44 years old. He grew up in a town called Kryvyi Rih. This is where it's located on the map. Zelensky's father was a computer science professor. His mother was an engineer. He grew up in one of the better neighborhoods of the town. While the young men of Kryvyi Rih wore tracksuits, Zelensky wore classy suits. He liked English rock. He played the guitar. Even shared a pair of blue jeans with his friend, Alexander Pikalov. The denim would go back and forth between the two depending on who had a date. So goes the story. The Soviet Union, though, collapsed when Zelensky was growing up. The post-Soviet era gave him the chance to mock politicians in broad daylight. A comedy show sprung up on Russian TV called KVN. It pit teams from across former Soviet states against one another. At 17, Zelensky became part of the team representing Kryvyi Rih. Soon, he and his friends created their own troupe. It was named the 95th Quarter, or Kvartal 95. Critics say Zelensky's comedy was quote-unquote puerile, vulgar and working class. It is said that Zelensky's mother once visited the rehearsal. She was not happy with what she saw. The distressed woman would pull Zelensky's friend aside and ask, "He's going to be a lawyer, isn't he?" Zelensky did go on to study law, but he built a career in comedy. Back in those days, oligarchs would often invite comics and satirists to their parties. Zelensky was invited to perform at Viktor Yanukovych's birthday party. We are talking about the Ukrainian president, Viktor Yanukovych, who was ousted in the Euromaidan revolution of 2014. Did Zelensky perform before Yanukovych? Reports say he did. When Crimea was annexed in 2014, Zelensky declared he did not want anything to do with Russia. His troop cut all ties with the Russian market. It also donated 1 million hryvnia to the Ukrainian army. Not only was he a successful comic, but also Ukraine's most successful producer. He had a fancy office in Kiev with a panoramic view of the city. He bought a 15-room villa in Tuscany, one that he never declared during his presidential campaign. By 2012, long before Crimea happened, Zelensky was sitting on some $15 million. He did not lose much by cutting off ties with Russia, but he made immense gains in terms of his popularity. Soon, Zelensky started work on his most successful show, a sitcom called Servant of the People. He played a high school teacher named Goloborodko, who was caught on tape ranting about corruption, and this monologue goes viral, and the teacher becomes president. Goloborodko sets out to chart his own path. He surrounds himself with old friends instead of the old ruling class. He appoints inexperienced people to office. Turns out all of this could have been a campaign announcement spread over 3 seasons. The show ran from 2015 to 2019. In the final hours of 2018, Zelensky announced that he would run for office. He had no experience, but 2 big promises. 1, he would fight corruption and confront Ukraine's oligarchs, and 2, he would end the war in Donbass. Zelensky declared, "You don't need experience to be president, you just need to be a decent human being." Volodymyr Zelensky is a native Russian speaker. His career as comic was all about depicting past presidents in a bad light, be it Viktor Yushchenko, Viktor Yanukovych, or Petro Poroshenko. Zelensky promised to be nothing like them. He projected himself as the total alternative to these presidents. 73% of Ukrainian voters put their weight behind him. He assumed office on the 2nd of May 2019. Just like Goloborodko, Zelensky installed friends in high offices, be it his writing partners, the head of his production company, or his lawyer. They were all made part of the government. And here we are 3 years later, the war in Donbass is not ended. Instead, it has escalated into Europe's biggest crisis since World War II. About 1,000 civilians have been killed in Ukraine alone. More than 1,500 people have been injured. At least 3 million people have fled Ukraine. Zelensky failed to keep his promise, and he could not have failed in a worse way. But he did rise to the crisis. When the US offered to fly him out of Ukraine, Zelensky said, "I need ammo, not a ride." The president appears on TV every day, and every day he's wearing a sap green t-shirt. He's visibly exhausted and mostly unshaved. On the 6th day of the war, Zelensky addressed the European Parliament via a video link. "Do prove that you're with us," he said. His interpreter appeared to choke on his tears. "Do prove that you will not let us go," Zelensky continued. One observer later noted, "It was as if Charlie Chaplin had morphed into Winston Churchill." You see, this man knows TV. He is pulling off what Putin had during the Chechen war. The daily press appearances, videos from war zones, sharing meals with troops, addressing parliaments around the world, and all of this is working. Zelensky has become the most popular politician in the US, more popular than even US President Joe Biden. How tough should that be, you could ask? Zelensky knows how to win people over. He knows gimmicks. After he became president, he appointed his press secretary through an open competition. There were 4,000 candidates, and each of them were tested on their sense of humor and tolerance for stress. Zelensky also likes theatrics. He announced his election bid on live television on New Year's Eve. He once held a 14-hour-long press conference at a food market. Here's something he does not like: comedy at his expense. If comic Zelensky were to look at President Zelensky today, he would get a lot of fodder for his scripts. 1. The president has not been able to weed out corruption. 2. The Pandora Papers have exposed Zelensky's murky businesses. Volodymyr Zelensky has offshore holdings, his own companies in British Virgin Islands, Cyprus and Belize. His team says Zelensky is quote-unquote like any other business person in Ukraine, but you don't get to be both, a businessman and a statesman. 3. Zelensky has also displayed authoritarian traits. He has banned 3 TV stations in Ukraine. Observers say, just like Putin, Zelensky too may be seizing power from the oligarchs only to strengthen his own personal authority and advance his interests. In 2020, Zelensky dismissed a general prosecutor because he reportedly refused to pursue cases that helped the president's cause. A governor of a national bank was removed too because he was not loyal enough. The deputy governor too was removed because she had raised concerns about the bank's independence. 4. Zelensky has failed to deliver his biggest campaign promise. There is no peace in Donbass. The region has now been taken over by Russian forces. 5. Zelensky may have underplayed warnings of the war. He first accused the West of hurting Ukraine's morale. Then he decided to spook the world. He said Russia would attack on the 16th of February. Later, he said he was only quoting media reports. Today, Zelensky spends his days in bunkers, cheering his forces, appearing on TV every now and then. He's the only Ukrainian president to face a full-fledged invasion. He has the support of his voters. His approval ratings are at an all-time high. There is obviously a threat to his life. Zelensky, after all, is reportedly Russia's target number 1. He's often heard telling global leaders that this might be the last time you see me alive. And every time a parliament applauds Zelensky, he says, "Thank you, but we want you to do more." There is no doubt he has risen up to the occasion. But come to think of it, he did not have much of a choice either. Fleeing Ukraine means losing presidency and a lot more. The Western media is drawing parallels between Zelensky and the emergency team that responded to 9/11. They've already pronounced him a hero. But it may be too early to say how history will judge this president of Ukraine.